Kids, listen to your mother.
Mom!
Welcome to Between Us Moms with Katie Crafts-Morg and Hallie Stevens-Drape.
Hi, guys. A quick thing before we start today's episode. This podcast is just me and Katie. We edit, we book, we produce. So when you share this podcast or you share a clip or you join and talk in our Facebook group and follow us on Substack, it goes such a long way. It means more to us than we could ever even tell you. And it keeps this podcast going. We have no funding. There's no big podcast network behind us. It's literally just us. So if you love it here, share an episode, rate us, like our content so we can keep this thing going. And with that, Katie?
Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Between Us Moms with me, Katie, and my BFF, Hallie. We love it here. We love that you guys are here with us, and we have an exciting episode. We are talking Kim Kardashian, getting a lot of heat. Emrata. I'm just going to refer to her as Emrata because why not? And the 51% rule that you need to know about. It's kind of life-changing. But let's start with Slay or Nay of the week. How?
Oh my God. I feel like I'm losing my mind. When I want to preface this by saying, I recognize that what I'm about to say is not a problem. It's not even a problem. It is a privilege and truly a gift. But our social calendar is insane. It's insane. We have invitations to more than one thing on most nights of the week or days of the week. There is so much happening. And I don't know if it's because in Chicago, people get it in when the sun is out. It's like we do all the socializing, we do all the hanging in those few months where we have sun, and then we all hibernate in the winter and don't see each other. But it's a little bit overwhelming because I have FOMO. I want to do it all. I want my kids to do it all and have like an epic full life.
Yeah.
But I also am someone who like deeply craves slow, calm, relaxed. And there's like life obligations that are in the mix, obviously. So it's like balancing all the things you have to do with all the things you can do and deciding what to say yes to and what to say no to and how to not let things fall through the cracks. And I feel like I am really struggling with that. It's like,
Yeah.
if anyone has any tips for how to stay organized, I feel like I am undiagnosed ADHD. Like, it's just, I'm feeling really overwhelmed by everything.
I also feel like I struggle with this a little bit. Do you feel like you think you have undiagnosed ADHD because you like to, as a mom, kind of like really control things and know what's coming up and plan ahead because you are a forward thinker because it makes life easier? Does that make sense?
Well, we're producers, Katie. Like, we are
So maybe that's what it
producers.
is.
We don't like things to fall through the crack. We don't like to be
Right.
surprised by, like, for example, the most recent thing was this morning. Andrew drove Dylan to camp and she doesn't have camp this week. Neither of us knew. Like, we
Oh.
have a calendar, we mark that calendar up, but there's just so many little things. And I keep finding myself like not writing stuff down and forgetting and then trying to remember. And then something else comes up. It's just like my brain, it's that whole meme of like a mom's brain and having a million tabs open. It's juggling the kids' schedules, juggling our schedules, trying to be there for everyone, trying to do it all. And I do feel like we're saying no to stuff, but stuff is still falling through the cracks. Can someone help? Who has tips? What do we do? How are we maintaining some sort of sanity? Because I feel like I'm losing my mind.
I feel like you love a digital calendar, but
I
I like a
do.
handwritten
I
calendar
know.
because it's an extra step to go into my phone and to like edit and delete and to set alarms and to blah, 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 blah. Whereas like a handwritten calendar, there's just something so nice about just like remove
Yes.
something or like write it in. And it takes less time and it's just there in the kitchen. And I do it every morning on Mondays. So I did it this morning. I don't know if that would be helpful, but I feel
Okay.
you. I also think it's just like parenthood, like life is effing busy because when you don't have kids, it's like all you worry about is like your own schedule. When you're married, it's like you do worry about like your partner's schedule to some extent, but like they can also handle their own schedule. When there's kids, it's like birthday party invitations, and then you also want to like get together with friends more who have kids, and then you also want to see family more because you want the cousins together. And life just seems like 10,000 times busier. I saw this meme that was like, people without kids, honestly, what do you do between the hours of 4 to 8 p.m.?
Whatever the fuck you want to do. And listen, wouldn't trade my life for anything,
No, of
but
course not. But it's like, it's just the
yeah.
season. It's
Yeah.
just the season is like busy and it's hard to keep track and it's hard to remember. And we feel
Mhm.
like we're losing our minds and pulling our hair out, but also we're like blessed and we love it. It's very normal what you're going through. So I just want to like assure you that like you're not losing your mind. This is a very normal thing. And just like deep breaths.
I know. I do. I think I need
But I
to
get
rev
you.
up yoga. I think I need to bring that back into my life. Just add it to the to-do list, I guess. Another thing, and just a hot tip for everyone at home. We've been thinking about how much waste we have in our house and all the garbage. I mean, that just comes with toddlers, but we're trying to be more mindful. And we're also thinking about the weird random places where we're spending a lot of money. And
Mm.
we found that one place that intersects is paper towels.
My God, do you remember we talked about this on the
Yes.
podcast, like when we first started? And I was like, yes,
Yeah. They're
yes,
so
paper towels.
expensive.
People, they're so expensive. And I hate when you take more squares than you need.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
just take a half a sleeve or
Yes.
a full sleeve, but you don't need multiple, squares.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. I'm
I
like,
feel you. I hear you. I was like, okay, this is one thing. I just want to start testing little places. So I bought these microfiber cloths, and there are 12 of them, and we're using those every day instead of paper towels. And I have found that A, we actually are saving a ton of money on paper towels, and B, we are wasting so much less. Like we're not, the garbage is less full. Like we rip through paper towels. So I have like three a day, three of these microfiber cloths. One is for the countertops, one is for the floor, and one is for the girls, for their face, their hands, etc. And then every day we throw them in the wash, but we have 12 of
wash.
them. So we cycle them through. And I got to tell you that I feel like I've unlocked something here.
I might need to copy you
Yeah.
because we are in the same boat. And I was thinking about this not too long ago. Like, we go through so many trash bags.
Yeah.
Like, we fill a trash bag a day, like
Oh,
full to the brim easily. And we have a
easy.
double, so it's like maybe two actually. And I'm like, where is this all coming from? Like, why are we so dirty?
Kids just make trash, the diapers, the
Yeah.
everything. I do feel like this is helping. And my final thing, sorry to be so long winded, is the other hack I have. And I don't know if this works for other people, but if I want to check things off my to do list when it has to do with the house, like all the projects
Yeah.
around the house or cleaning the house, the best way to get me to do it is to
Okay.
invite people over.
What do you
This
mean?
right now, my to do list for the house is insane.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I know what I'm going to do. In a couple hours, I'm going to have these new friends over who have never been here before. And I'm going to whip through this house and I'm going to get all that shit done. And it works like a charm. I got so much done. The house has never been cleaner. And I did it fast as fuck because I literally in the morning impromptu invited this couple over in the evening that we had never had over. I wanted the house to look good. And it works like a charm. If you're crazy like me, just invite people over and you'll get a lot done. Okay, what do you have for us, Katie?
Okay. So it's so funny that you mentioned, all of your reorganization and redoing because I went psycho during Prime Day, which I never do. Usually I'm like, this is a farce. This is so stupid. They don't really lower the prices. They just make it seem like they do. But I was like, you know what? We've been trying to sell our house. I was like, I'm going to just redecorate. So I was doing Prime Day, HomeGoods, Costco, Home Depot, and we have like 10 new plants in our house.
It looks so good.
There are like even like behind me, there's like a giant fern because I also read, and maybe this is a life hack. Wow, we are full of hacks today.
Yeah.
Maybe you already knew this, but did you know how good ferns are in your house because they remove toxins?
So do snake
They like,
plants.
and snake plants. So our room, we have a snake plant and a
Mhm.
fern because they literally absorb the pollutants in your
Yep.
house, like synthetic building materials and paints and like I want to say plastics. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so like do your own research about this. but they are so, so, so good for you to have in your home.
Yeah. Yeah, I have
So
it in both girls' rooms because it's like an air purifier.
yeah, like a natural one.
Yeah.
So I went a little insane and like redecorate, like just little areas. I kind of like moved things around, added cute little trinkets here and there, and then went absolutely insane with the plants. So we have lots of new friends here to water. It's also fun to like take the girls around the house and water the plants. It like passes the time. It teaches them that our plants are alive and that they are living creatures and who wants to hold the watering can. And it's like a whole thing. So, if you don't have plants in your house, I highly recommend it. I also
Mhm.
just feel like we feel more put together and more relaxed having like plants everywhere.
It
So,
looks so cute, Katie. You made these little vignettes, you
yes.
know? They're like little
Yeah, thank
moments.
you.
Yeah, like little
That's what I was
Instagram
trying to do.
moments. They're
Yes.
very cute.
Oh my
Looks
God,
great.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so there's that. The other thing is Jason gave us some podcast feedback.
Oh, I can't wait to hear. What did he have to say?
He said, so I was upset because so his friends were over and like his best friend from childhood was like, I love your guys' podcast. It's
Oh.
so good. And I love hearing you talk about Jason. Like, I wish I had a portal into my wife's inner thoughts where I could just tune in and hear her talk about me. And he's like, you say such nice things about him. And I was like, yeah, babe, did you like this episode? And he like kind of went ghosty and was like, I haven't been listening. And
Oh.
I was like really upset. It really, really hurt my feelings. He's like, I'm not really the demographic. I was like, your wife isn't the demographic. Like, I am literally your wife. Like, why are you not listening to our podcast? So we were on our walk. We try to do like a walk in the evenings when we can. And he like brought up something that we talked about on the podcast. And I was like, oh my gosh, you listened. He was like, yes, but I had to listen at like 1.3 speed. And he was like, you guys need to talk faster.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I talk slow. I know
I
that is
talk
fair.
slow too. And
Yeah.
it is interesting because when we're talking, like we don't really have a ton of notes. We're just having a conversation, but you also want to think about what you're saying to make sure it makes sense and that it's
Yeah.
clear. And I do think we've gotten better about it.
Yeah.
But he's like, you guys just need to talk faster.
Okay, you know what? Note taken. Guys, listening, send us your notes. We're here for
Yeah.
you. I mean, listen, we don't know unless you tell us. So tell us and we will take the feedback. We are
Yeah.
not opposed to criticism.
I thought it was great feedback. So I'm going to work on talking faster.
Okay.
And if you are listening and you find yourself needing to speed us up, totally do that.
Yeah.
We are not easily offended. So
No, that is so true. My skin is thick as fuck.
yeah, right.
Yes. Yes.
So that's all. Those are my quick little notes that I
Those are
had
good.
today.
And Jason, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank
Yeah,
you for listening again.
yeah,
Welcome
and he
back.
did apologize. So he's now
Forgiven.
locked in.
Yeah.
He will be listening to the podcast. That was a big conversation here. I was like, "Are you joking me right now?" So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's all.
Okay, let's dive into the headlines that made us text each other this week. I'm going to kick us off with Emily Rata, as you called her. Emily Ratajkowski is her full name. She has everybody talking after writing a super, super personal essay for The Cut about dating, divorce, and becoming a single mom. One of the quotes that's really getting the most attention is that she said, quote, having a child with the wrong man is one of the fastest ways to ruin your life. She said that she's not saying that her son ruined her life, but quite the opposite. She says her son is the greatest thing that's ever happened to her. What she regrets is choosing the wrong partner to have a child with because it made motherhood so much harder than it needed to be. She also opens up about how she initially hated the label of single mom. She worried that people were going to see her as damaged or like undesirable. And after her marriage ended, she threw herself into dating and casual relationships because she wanted to reconnect with herself, not because she was looking for a husband, but because she wanted to feel more like she was more than just a mom. And hello, we can all relate to that
Yeah.
feeling on some level. Eventually, though, she realized that validation from men wasn't actually what she was searching for, a men. And the essay has definitely had people divided online. Some readers are praising her for being like brutally honest about the emotional fallout of divorce and the complicated identity shift that comes with being a single mom. But others feel like her experience is shaped by wealth and privilege and doesn't reflect what single motherhood looks like for most women.
Mm.
I want to know what you think, but I also want you to elaborate because I feel like this is I mean, you've posted reels about this on Instagram. This is something you've talked about on the podcast, that choosing the right person to start a family with is the most important decision you'll ever make. So dive deep on that. Tell us more.
Yeah. I think her experience is so real, and I love that she's being honest about this. A child is a beautiful thing. A child is an amazing, amazing thing. And I love that she's like, it wasn't a mistake to like have my baby because it wasn't. But I think if you have a child with the wrong person, yeah, it makes things harder. I do think so. And I think I do say this all the time, and maybe it's from a privileged place, and I apologize if so, but I also think I was very intentional in choosing who my partner was going to be, and I really took my time because I do think it is the most important decision you will make in your life because that person is going to be in your life forever. So if that person is toxic, or if that person decides, they don't want to show up and be the partner that they initially promised you they would be, or if they have, characteristics that you weren't looking for in a partner, like they're not loyal, or they aren't loving, or they're abusive, whatever it is, like that person is going to be in your life forever. And even if they aren't in your life, you will always know that that's the father of your children. And so you're always going to have a tie to it. And my heart, I want to say, like really, really feels for the people who, I don't want to say made a mistake, because I think oftentimes you think somebody is someone and then it changes down the road. And so my heart like really, really goes out to those people. And when I think about single moms, oh my gosh, I've said this on the podcast so many times. You are not damaged. You are the strongest people on the planet. Like there is something about single mothers. I'm like, you deserve a cloak because you are a literal superhero. Yeah, I don't know that her experience is necessarily shaped by wealth and privilege. Like, yes, she is a celebrity. Yes, she might have more means, but I think that's her experience, and that's totally okay for her to share her personal experience. I
Yeah.
think it's kind of like the Brenda Song thing when she was upset that like she paid for first class tickets and like she couldn't sit with her family. Like that's still her experience, right? Like not everyone is going to have the same exact universal experience. This is just hers. And so yeah, I really feel for her. I also see people, oftentimes, gosh, how do I say this? They're always like posting all these quotes about like how men need to learn to like show up, and men need to do this and men need to do that. And yes, I full-heartedly agree, but also like we have to work on ourselves so that we are accepting the type of love that we know we deserve.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think self-respect is like also so important. Like don't put up with bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a baby with that person. You could be like, I'm walking away. I deserve better.
Yep.
Like we have to demand better.
Yep.
I don't know. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
advocate. Yes. No, I think you're totally right. I think it's hard because I think a lot of women do feel the pressure of the biological clock. So a lot of
Yeah.
times it's like, okay, I'm 35, but I want to have kids and I'm dating this person. And like, maybe I don't know him all that well. And so I get it. There's like all these factors that go into knowing someone fully before you have a baby with them. I want to just give a shout out to Andrew because we met when we were 21 and we had the
Yeah.
gift of time and going through hard shit together. So I knew who he was in conflict. I knew who he was in resolution. I knew who he was when things were hard, when things were good, when there was something to celebrate. Like I knew this man. What I will say is, you never know the type of father that someone is
Mm.
going to be until they're a father. And I think that's just, you roll the dice, but I think you can know a lot about someone's character if you have the gift of time. So I would urge people not to feel pressure as much as possible and just like go through some
I
shit with somebody, you know?
I I agree with that, but I also think some people stick around for too much shit. Like
That, yeah,
you know what your intuition is saying. You know what your gut is saying. That is the one of the most beautiful things about being a woman is that we have these like woman's intuition. Like I fully believe in that. And I know people that have stayed in relationships and stayed in, and then they drop little Easter eggs to me like, I don't know, he kind of like he's drinking a lot.
mm,
Or I don't know, I found some weird stuff on his phone. But you're still staying.
yeah. No, you
So
got
it's
it.
like you got
Hmm.
to listen to yourself like
Yeah,
inherently. Maybe you choose to like turn a blind eye, or maybe you choose to be like he's going to change, or but we always know deep down.
yeah, that's
I
true.
think
Yeah.
90% of the time at least.
Yes, and I think you listen to that for sure. But also, and again, Like some people are 38 and their priority is having a kid, and maybe the
Yeah,
man doesn't matter, and that's fair too.
totally. It's like we talked about Bunny XO and Jelly Roll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think to each woman their own. What I really want to see are two things. I want to see women loving themselves wholly and doing all the work to feel full and to feel completely content with who they are before they're choosing a partner, before they're having kids. I want to see women doing that. And I really want to see women stop judging each other online. So if Emily Rata
Yes.
is going to share this story and this is her experience, I want to see women saying, "Thank you for being brave to talk about it," because
Yes.
it may not resonate with me, but it surely is going to resonate with somebody. And the more we can do to feel less alone and to make each other feel supported, the better place this is going to be for us, for our children, period, full stop. So that's my soapbox. That's my TED Talk. Thanks for coming.
I love it. That was a good topic. Okay.
Thanks.
Speaking of judging other women, though, there is a story that is going viral. It has the internet like really, really upset with Kim Kardashian right now. She's getting a lot of flack because 13-year-old Northwest, that's her oldest daughter with Kanye West, was at a fashion show during Paris Fashion Week. She was there by herself, 13 years old. She's there. She has her blue hair. She's got piercings all over the place. There was an interaction with a 43-year-old singer rapper that made people feel uncomfortable when they watched it. I guess he was going in for like a hug and she wanted a handshake. And she is also going to be going on tour and she's like releasing her EP. But anyway, she turned 13 earlier this month. And people are like, Kim, do you not remember being robbed and held at gunpoint in Paris basically 10 years ago, back in 2016? And now you're letting your daughter go to fashion shows there by herself? What is
Mhm.
going on? And so I'm curious, what do you make of this? Do you agree with the flack that she's getting? Do you want to defend Kim? I know we want this to be a safe space for moms, but
Mhm.
I don't feel like most moms would let their kids go to Paris Fashion Week by themselves at 13. So I
Yes.
want to hear from you.
All right, there's nuance because Kim is not sending her child alone to Paris. So she is there with bodyguards, she has assistants, she has a professional team with her. Kim is no fool. She has people there, and my guess is that Kim has given very strict instruction on what's allowed and what's not. That's my guess. I do think these kids who grow up with wealthy, famous parents are living a different existence than any of us and will never understand it, will never be able to relate to it. But they're around adults all the time. Think about it. She literally had a camera crew in her house from the time she was born. She's around adults, she interacts with adults. She has famous parents. She has a musician father. When she was like, what, 8, she was on stage with Kanye rapping. I mean, this is not your normal 13-year-old girl growing up in the suburbs, going to public school. This is a child who knows what she wants to do. And I'm here to defend Kim because I think if you have a kid who knows what they want to do, has so much conviction about it. Kim has always said she loves makeup, she loves music, she knows what she wants to do. At some point, you got to let your kid fly. And 13 feels young, but
If you had all the money and riches and fame in the world, like Kim, would you let your 13-year-old daughter go to Paris Fashion Week without you? And
right now, I would say no, but I don't know. I'm not mad about this, is what I'll say. Like I'm just
okay.
not. I'm not. Also, I think it's kid by kid. Like how responsible is your kid? How much trust do you have in them? How much have they shown you that they can be trusted? Do you trust the team you've built around them to protect her? I think I'd want to be there personally.
I think I have a little bit of a different take than you do.
Okay, what's your take?
I think, and I've always said this, our job as parents is to fully protect our children. Our job, yes, is to let them fly when they are ready. But I would not, I think, especially knowing how well known and famous and rich your family is and how many eyeballs are on your family at all times, like I would never let my kid go unaccompanied to a different country at 13 years old with just like bodyguards and assistants. Like I would be there.
Mhm.
I would maybe bring my entire family with me if she really wanted to go to a fashion show or if she was invited and whatnot. and I would, have babysitters with my other children, but I would go.
Mhm.
I don't feel like, I don't know. I would need to be there. I think, maybe 16 is a different age and something different, but 13, like you just turned 13. You became a teenager earlier this month.
Yeah. The thing I
I think
worry
it's our
about,
job. I
yeah, the
don't
thing I
know.
worry about is I agree. Like our sole job is to protect, but at the same time, how much can you protect a child who's in the public eye like that? I mean, they made their choice a long time ago. Like they shared these children's lives. They made that choice. I don't think I ever would put my kids on TV. I'm even thinking about not putting my kids on social media anymore and what my measly following. So, I think there's just fundamental differences there, and every mom has to make that
Yeah.
decision for themselves. But for me, like, I want my kids to stay, I want to protect their naivete, their privacy, their childhood, and let them fully be children. And I don't know that that was necessarily the priority that Kim and Kanye
They
chose for
had.
them. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
fair.
mean?
A lot of
So,
moving parts here and a lot of, I understand why people are so divided over this.
yeah, I do
I
too.
understand why people have so much to say about this
Mhm.
and I think yeah, every kid is different and I want to believe that Kim is like a really good mom. Like I do want to believe that, but I
Mhm.
think in this case like gosh, I would not have done the same thing.
Yeah, I would have wanted to be there, but all right, let's dive into the mom algorithm. Katie came across this idea online that really resonates. It's called the 51% rule, and it all starts with this quote: "When you love yourself as much as you care what other people think, you'll change your life." But then someone reframed it in a way that actually is even more practical. The idea is that you'll probably never stop caring what other people think about you because we're human. But the goal isn't to eliminate that feeling, it's just to make sure that your dream has a little more influence over your decisions than everyone else's opinions. So imagine there's a vote happening in your head every time you're about to post that video or start a business or write a book or apply for the job or you try something new. One side is your dream and the other side is your fear of being judged. And the question is, which side gets 51% of the vote? So your dream doesn't have to completely drown out your fear. It just has to win by 1%. And I love this idea because so many of us aren't actually afraid of the work. We're afraid of looking silly or failing publicly or having people judge us. But anyone who's ever done something meaningful has probably been judged along the way. So that's just part of putting yourself out there. Katie, I love this and I love that you found it. And I feel like it's the message we all need to hear.
Yeah. I mean, you said it and you encapsulated it perfectly. It's like what people think, or if you do worry what people think, worry what you think a little bit more. Post your reels. And also, this goes to the other side. If you see someone trying to like achieve their dream, whatever it is, like support them.
Hmm.
Don't judge them. Don't make them feel that way. I think it's a wake-up call too for like us as people. We need to be more loving, compassionate, and like supportive of
Yeah.
people in general. Like it just is like icky to not do that. And I think it would make the world a little bit better. I feel like the world, I don't know, during COVID, maybe it just like kind of changed.
Yeah.
And I feel like people became more like judgy and like gossipy. And I'm like, why? And so if you have a dream, whatever it is, you want to change careers, you want to post skill, you want to start a cooking show, you want to start a home decor show, whatever it is, just do it.
Yeah.
And like trust your gut and like don't worry if people are gonna not like it or be judgy about it because it says more about them than it says about you. So that's all.
Absolutely. I remember you and I were having a conversation because there was some gossip going on. We were talking about like when people are talking about us. And I remember saying to you, if anyone ever says anything bad about me, it's not my business unless it affects my livelihood or my family, not my business. Don't care. Don't tell
Yeah.
me. Don't want to know because it doesn't matter. I think that's the freedom of 40s is I give zero
Yeah.
fucks what you think about me. So my family loves me. My family knows me. That's all that matters. And good night and good day.
Good night and good day. What a way to end the podcast.
Yeah.
If you guys like it here, please go rate it, share this episode with a friend, and remember, motherhood is a sisterhood. and we'll be back next week.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Between Us Moms.
Don't forget to follow us for more mom content and good conversations on all the socials.
We're also on Substack and have a newsletter filled with tips, tea, meal ideas, and mom stuff you won't want to miss.
And we've got a secret Facebook group to connect and talk even more.
Go find us.